A single AI data center can cost over $1 billion and take years to build, not months, years. The kind of project that looks more like building an airport than deploying software. And this is where the story breaks. Because AI is supposed to scale fast, faster models, more compute, bigger systems. But while demand is exploding, the ability to build the infrastructure behind it is not. Companies like Amazon, Microsoft, and Google are spending billions trying to expand. But even they cannot accelerate construction indefinitely. So the real question is, what actually limits AI? Because it's not the models, and it's not the chips. It's something much more physical. And this is where the system really starts to break. Most people think AI is a software problem. Write better code, train better models, add more GPUs. But that's not what's really happening. This is not a software system. It's an industrial system. Because every AI model, every query, every inference runs inside a physical facility, a data center. And these facilities are not simple buildings. They are some of the most complex infrastructure projects in the world. They require land, massive power connections, industrial-scale cooling, and specialized construction teams that can execute under extreme constraints. And this creates a second problem, because if AI depends on infrastructure, and infrastructure behaves like heavy industry, then AI cannot scale like software. It scales like construction, and construction is slow. It takes years. It requires coordination, and it depends on a limited number of companies that can actually build at this scale. And this is where the consequences become unavoidable. Because if only a few companies can build, then only a few companies can scale AI. In fact, most companies can't. And this is where the real bottleneck starts to appear. AI is growing fast, but scaling AI does not just mean training better models. It means building massive physical infrastructure. Every new AI system requires data centers, and not small ones. Hyperscale facilities that cost billions of dollars. Companies like Amazon, Microsoft, and Google are not just deploying software, they are building industrial-scale assets. Concrete, steel, transformers, cooling systems. Entire complexes designed to run continuously at massive scale. This is the shift most people miss. AI is no longer just code, it behaves like heavy industry. And this creates a problem, because scaling AI now depends on something very different. It depends on how fast you can build physical infrastructure. And construction does not scale like software. Building a hyperscale data center is not simple. It takes years. You need land, you need permits, you need grid connections, and you need specialized construction firms that can execute at this scale. There are not many of those. Only a small number of engineering and construction companies in the world can deliver hyperscale projects reliably, and they are already operating near capacity, and this is where the system starts to break. Projects take 18, 24, even 36 months to complete. That creates a hard limit. AI demand can grow exponentially, but construction capacity grows slowly, linearly. This mismatch is the real bottleneck, not chips, not models. The ability to build at scale, on time. And this is where cost becomes decisive. A single hyperscale data center can cost several $billion. Before it generates any revenue, you need to secure land. Lock in construction capacity years in advance. Commit massive capital up front. And wait, this is not a software business. This is infrastructure finance, and this is where access starts to disappear. Only companies with massive balance sheets can operate under these conditions. Hyperscalers don't just buy compute. They secure construction pipelines. They lock the builders, They lock the timelines. They lock the capacity. And once that capacity is locked, no one else can access it. Most companies are locked out not because they lack ideas, not because they lack talent, but because they cannot secure the ability to build infrastructure at scale. The real bottleneck of AI is not compute, it's construction, because building data centers requires billions in capital, years of execution, and a small number of specialized construction firms. And those firms can only handle a limited number of projects at a time. So hyperscalers do something critical. They don't just buy compute, they secure construction capacity years in advance. They sign long-term contracts. They prioritize their own projects. They move first. They lock the builders. They lock the timelines. They lock the infrastructure. And once that capacity is locked, no one else can access it. This is not a technology race, it's a capacity race. And most companies are not even in the race. AI doesn't scale with code, it scales with infrastructure. And infrastructure requires money, time, and access. Which means power doesn't go to the best model. It goes to the companies that can build. And once they control the infrastructure, they control who gets access. This is no longer about innovation, it's about industrial capacity. Money gives access, gives control. Most companies are locked out. And this is the industry code.